Hi, my name is Chet here from Avion Technology. We are a web design development company, a digital agency based out of Arlington Heights near Chicago. This is a two-part. This is the second part of a two-part series that I did called "How Can Small Agencies Compete with the Big Guys?" To just give you a backstory in terms of what we do here at Avion, there are essentially three silos that we work with, three markets that we work with. First is small businesses. We help small businesses create a digital presence and consolidate that digital presence through online marketing. The second thing we do is we work with a lot of people with ideas to help them take those ideas to market and then scale up so that they can eventually exit. And the third market that we work a lot with is digital agencies. We work as a white label programming partner for a lot of digital agencies, and most of them kind of tend to be in that 1 to 2 million kind of range, usually about 10 employees, and a lot of them suffer from the same problems. There's usually two kinds of problems that they suffer from. The first is regards to technology bandwidth. Usually they will get some project, they'll get a project which is outside their realm of things in terms of technology, and that kind of causes a disruption sometimes. Usually most of these companies will have about 2 or 3 devs on staff, and then a couple of content folks and a couple of marketing folks. And when there's a project like this, which is a little outside their technology, outside the skill set of their existing technology folks, things will tend to get disrupted. The second area where a lot of companies suffer from, especially these 1 to 2 million kind of digital agencies, another area that they kind of um, suffer from a lot is really competing with the big guys for business. And this is usually a marketing problem. So I did this little two-part series. You can watch the first part on YouTube. This is the second part of how the small guys can compete with the big guys. So point number 6 is segment and target your audience. I don't know if you guys have heard of Pareto. Pareto was an, yeah, I think it was an 18th or 19th century economist who created the famous 80-20 rule that you hear about so many times, and which basically says that 80% of something is caused because of 20% of something, right? So let's say if you have a sales team, you will notice that 80% of your sales are brought in by 20% of your sales staff. Or if you have clients, you will typically notice that 80% of your revenue will be brought in by 20% of your clients. And vice versa, you'll also notice that 80% of all your client related problems are brought by 20% of your clients. So I usually tell small agencies that these are the clients you want to kind of revisit. These are the kind of clients you want to take a hard look at and see if you want them for the long term. Now, some of them are actually good clients. It's just that it's a very situational thing, right? That the project is not working out, but it's a good client. This is someone you want to work with. You can see a future with this client. And in those kind of cases, bring in all the artillery to make sure that you can take that project to completion. But there's some clients that you'll be better off firing those clients, because these clients really impinge on your bandwidth. Most digital agencies in that 1 to 2 million kind of range, usually they'll be solo owners, or there'll be maybe 2 or 3 partners, and you guys will be stretched for it as far as your bandwidth is concerned. Your bandwidth will be precious, and in these kind of times, to have someone impinge on your bandwidth, to hog your bandwidth for what would probably be more problems and marginal gains, is something that's going to kill the long-term growth of your company. So point number 6 is segment and refine your target audience. You want to be selling to people who are going to give you good long-term business at good rates. Do not forget good rates, right? uh, Good rates will get you good margins, and good margins will ensure that your business stays in business for the long term, right? Don't sacrifice on your rates, because doing so will sacrifice on your margins, and if you sacrifice on your margins, you're really sacrificing on your future. So don't do that. If you if you fire some clients and this is something you should do every year. The way we kind of trim our hedges, trim the bushes, in our garden. You should always take a trimmer and trim a few clients so that you know uh, essentially so that you stay sane. So point number 6 is, how can you as a small digital agency compete with the big guys? Point number 6 is, that do it by culling your client list and making it such that you're only working with folks that you want to work with for a long time. Number 7, leveraging branded content. So this is again a very interesting point. So when I say leveraging branded content, um, the world essentially, right? So I'm noticing that these days it's becoming more and more harder to sell anything, because everyone has a wall. No one likes to be sold. Cold calling is out. Cold emails don't get your response. You go to a networking event, everyone you meet there is a real estate agent and a life insurance and a financial planner. So where are you going to get your business from, right? That's a question that I hear a lot of digital agency owners say. Where am I going to get my business from? And this is usually what I say to them. Ludicrous as it sounds, but stop selling. The number one problem that we do is that we start selling. And whenever you start selling, people have a wall. They have a defense. They don't hear what you're saying, right? So to stop that, what you can do is you can start leveraging branded content, right? So we can start leveraging content made by others so that it showcases your thought leadership. I know this might sound weird, how can I use someone else's content to showcase my thought leadership? Well, don't just copy paste what they're writing, but you can quote them, and then you can use those thoughts, put it in your voice, and then spread it across your media channels. So what you're essentially doing is you're collaborating with other content creators. That's very important. People want to see thought leadership. Imagine you go to a doctor, and you have whatever, your shoulders hurt. You go to a doctor, and the doctor is like, maybe it's something to do with your shoulder, but maybe. And you think, does this guy really know what he's doing, right? So the same way, when someone walks into your door, he needs that confidence that this is a place where I'm going to get my digital needs satisfied. And to do that, you have to make sure that your website, your social media channels, all your conversations, they demonstrate thought leadership. So that's point number 7. Point number 8, step up on your design. I have seen design to be a very low-hanging fruit for a lot of digital agencies, especially for a lot of small digital agencies, and I'll tell you why. I have had many of my biggest wins after I have submitted some kind of a mock-up to my clients, right? Because we are in a visual field. Clients, you can show them proposals, you can send them quotes, you can even send them wireframes, but that's not what sells them, that's not what convinces them to sign the dotted line. I've seen a lot of clients really get convinced when you show them a mock-up for 2 reasons. Number 1, a mock-up is the first time that they are seeing their vision, their dream translated into something tangible, and that raises their confidence level by a lot of notches. Number 1. But secondly, a mock-up shows that you share that vision, which for any client is huge. Remember, it's not the salesperson with the best gift of gab who makes the most amount of sales. It's not the guy with the most amount of hair gel and the one who wears the best suit. It's the guy who shows the most empathy. People do business with you because they like you and they want to do business with you. And instead of investing a lot of time and effort and money on sharpening your sales skills, if you are a digital agency owner and if you want to increase your business, invest that same amount of time in creating, let's say, a really good mock-up, and then take that to the client. You will not have to sell them anything. They would have already been sold to your services because they know that you can deliver. Point number 9 is customer loyalty program. Customer loyalty program, we've all heard of the big customer loyalty programs. Airline miles are the most common one. You also have loyalty points on Amazon and all these different sites. Again, one area where you can again compete with a lot of the big guys. I've seen a lot of the bigger digital agencies, and they are extremely inflexible when it comes to pricing, right? They will give you a quote, and then they will say that this is because they have a pipeline of projects. For a lot of them, they're non-corporate and long tail. You know what long tail clients are, right? These are small mom and pop companies, and companies who make less than 10 million. These kind of companies. For a lot of the bigger digital agencies, these are not their ideal clients. They want to go after the McDonald's of the world. They want to go after the Coca-Colas of the world because those are the bigger accounts. So you as a small company can go after the entire long tail. You can go after all these mom and pop shops, the $5 million, $10 million folks. And you can create some kind of customer loyalty by giving them good discounts, by engaging with them, by sending them a thank you note. All these different touch points which will showcase that you care about your client. And the last point is local promotions. This is again another way in which smaller digital agencies can take on the big guys, is local promotions, right? More often than not, the big guys, they're all located in the city. I'm in Chicago, so you'll see most of the bigger digital agencies are in the city. And in the suburbs, there's not really so many of us around. Now, we can use that as a tactical leverage, and we can create brand awareness by working through our local chambers of commerce, by working through the local school district, by working through the local YMCA. These are opportunities that the big guys do not have, right? These opportunities that you have as a small guy. So again, sum and substance, if you are a 1 million, 1.5, 2 million kind of digital agency, and you're trying to get to the 5 million, 10 million mark, let me first tell you, it's extremely difficult. Going from 1 million to 5 million, 1 million to 3 million is honestly, that's the biggest hump for a lot of digital agencies. And frankly, some of them never even make it past that hump. So if you're frustrated, if you don't know how to get there, it's absolutely common to see a lot of digital agencies struggle with that 1 to 3 million kind of hump. It's absolutely normal. But there are ways you can get there. And there's really 2 ways you can do that. One, increase your technology repertoire, right? Increase the amount of services that you offer. And there's several ways you can do that. One is partner with really good vendors, right? So what happens is that you can increase the amount of services. So if you're a purely design shop, partner with a good programming company. If you're a purely SEO company, partner with a good design shop. So you can really find synergies and within your local geography with other companies, and you can cross-pollinate and work with each other. What this is going to do is, again, it'll give you access to a bigger market share, essentially. So the companies that I have seen who went from 1 million to 2 million, 3 million, they changed, or they made a pivot in terms of the services offered. They went from being pure social media or social marketing, online marketing companies, digital marketing companies, and they started offering programming as well. If they were simply programming shops, they started doing online marketing as well. So that's number 1. Number 2 is you can really scale up on the marketing side, and that's by creating brand awareness about your company. And when you're creating brand awareness, keep in mind that small or being small is absolutely not a bad thing. In fact, these days, because of the proliferation of the Amazons and the Googles and the Facebooks of the world, people in fact they like to work with a small business now. They like the attention, they like the personal treatment that they get at many small businesses. So if you're a small digital agency, be proud of the fact that you're local, that you're employing people from within the geography, right? And then use your small size as something to be proud of, and then go out in your market and broadcast yourself. So again, Chet here from Avion Technology. This was a part of my two-part series of how smaller digital agencies can take on some of the big guys. We are ourselves a digital agency who work with other digital agencies in helping them scale up. If you need any advice, or if you have uh, any potential project, or even if you just want to chat sometime, these are our coordinates, and give us a shout. We would be more than happy to connect with you. If you like this channel, press like. If you want to subscribe, press subscribe. And if you want to share, be my guest. Thank you so much.